Hi, my name is Ray Wang. I am a senior product manager working in Amazon Web Services. Today, I'll be talking to you about NICE DCV, a remote desktop and application streaming technology. The agenda I'll be following for this session today is as follows. The first, I will briefly go over what is remote streaming, give you some examples of common remote streaming use cases in our day-to-day lives. Next, I will spend some time introducing NICE DCV, explaining why it is useful and give you examples of how our customers are currently using NICE DCV in different industry verticals. Then, I'll dive into the key features of DCV and give you a live demo of those features. Lastly, I will cover pricing and support. So, what is remote streaming? Very broadly, remote streaming allows a centralized resource to host high-end compute and visualization processing, while delivering a local copy to a remote user so they can access, manipulate, and share business-critical information regardless of their location. More specifically, when we typically think of remote streaming, we often think of remote media streaming, the streaming of movies, TV shows, music, and games. These are all correct, but that's not all. In addition, remote desktop streaming and application streaming are two use cases gaining popularity in the enterprise world. For example, many companies now provide remote desktop or application streaming solutions to their employees, enabling them to access their office workstations and applications and data remotely using either a computer or tablet or mobile device. This type of remote streaming is more interactive, meaning that the end user doesn't just consume the streamed content, they actively manipulate the stream. If you want to offer this type of interactive remote streaming and visualization experience to your customers and users, then you need a remote streaming technology to help you achieve this. Which brings me to NICE DCV. NICE DCV is an AWS-owned high-performance remote display protocol. DCV stands for Desktop Cloud Visualization, and it provides customers with a secure way to deliver remote desktops and application streaming from any cloud or data center to any device over varying network conditions. NICE DCV has been around for many years now. It was initially created by a high-performance computing company in Italy called NICE. NICE was acquired by AWS in 2016, and since then, we have been continuing to iterate the product and introducing many features. NICE DCV specializes on 2D and 3D interactive streaming over Ethernet or Wi-Fi networks. It works with any cloud service, including Amazon Web Services, and any on-premise infrastructure. With the power of NICE DCV, you can seamlessly connect to your running remote session and smoothly interact with it as if you were sitting at the machine itself. You can harness the power of EC2 or on-prem data center hardware from your personal desktop or laptop and run demanding simulations or analysis from anywhere with the internet connection. So how does NICE DCV work? It's very simple. There are two sides. On the left, the local client is the device that you use to receive the stream. Think of your laptop, mobile phone, or tablet. On the right-hand side, we have remote servers that actually host the desktop or application. This can be either an Amazon EC2 instance or another server sitting in another cloud or sitting on-premises. To use NICE DCV, you need to install the DCV server software on your remote server, then use a NICE DCV client to access the stream. DCV clients can be either an application that you install on your Windows or Linux machines, or simply a website that you visit in your web browser. One important thing to call out is that NICE DCV encrypts and transfers pixels, not data, from the remote server to your local client. It is secure because nothing is downloaded. All you are seeing on the screen of the client device are a picture of a desktop or application. Except in this case, you can actually interact with these pixels and receive low latency responses back, making you feel like you are interacting with a local desktop or application. NICE DCV serves both enterprises and developers. Enterprises can use DCV as a streaming protocol to help their end users access visualization and graphics capabilities. Their business users can get access to productivity and business apps, productivity applications, and workstations remotely. Their artists and designers can access graphics-intensive applications, and their engineers can use DCV to visualize the results of their 3D engineering simulations. Developers, on the other hand, can also leverage DCV as a building block for their applications. For example, if you want to build your own industry-specific platform for 2D or 3D application streaming, remote desktop, and cloud computing, you should definitely take a look at what DCV has to offer. So why DCV? NICE DCV offers 5 major benefits. First, you can run it anywhere. Since NICE DCV supports both Windows and major flavors of Linux operating systems and works on any cloud or on-premises machines, it means that you can adopt DCV to fit your and your company's infrastructure needs. If you choose to use NICE DCV on AWS with Amazon EC2 instances, then you can take advantage of AWS's 69 availability zones within 22 regions all around the world, enabling your service or application to truly scale globally. Next, you can access DCV from anywhere. NICE DCV offers a range of clients for you to pick from, allowing you or your customer to access their remote desktop or applications from anywhere. You don't have to download anything if you choose to access DCV using a web browser, and DCV supports most modern web browsers. Alternatively, you can also download DCV native clients for your Windows, Mac, or Linux machines. Next, NICE DCV delivers a high-performance user experience even for the most graphics-intensive needs. It supports lossless quality video compression when the network and processor conditions allow. You can also use multiple 4K monitors with DCV to meet the most graphics-intensive applications needs. On the other hand, if you don't need very powerful machines to run graphics-intensive applications, NICE DCV also supports multiple virtual sessions, which means that you can have multiple users sharing a single instance to maximize cost savings. AWS also offers a diverse set of instance types to fit your needs and budget. Lastly, because DCV encrypts and transports pixels instead of data, it enables you to centralize control of your apps and data. Your data is now downloaded to any client device. NICE DCV has already been adopted by a diverse number of industries and verticals. For example, artists can use DCV to access powerful graphics workstations on the cloud for their digital content creation and rendering workloads. In healthcare, DCV is used for medical imaging, to remotely visualize and analyze images of interiors of bodies for clinical analysis or medical intervention. In geosciences, DCV is used to visualize the results of reservoir simulations. Similarly, in manufacturing, after engineers finish running, for example, a computational fluid dynamics job, they can use DCV to visualize the result of their experiments. Of course, you can also use DCV to visualize any business and productivity apps or your entire desktop. DCV also has a feature called collaborative sessions, where you can have multiple people, each using their own device, but all of them are viewing and sharing a single desktop. This is a great use case for education and IT support purposes. You're probably seeing a trend here. NICE DCV can be used for any mobile desktop and application streaming use cases, and we'd love to hear your innovative ways of using a NICE DCV. Speaking of application streaming, Amazon Web Services has a managed service called Amazon AppStream that securely delivers desktop applications to any computer. AppStream uses NICE DCV behind the scenes to power AppStream remote visualization experience. Then you might ask, which service should I use? How do I decide whether my company should use AppStream or NICE DCV directly? Well, here are some factors to help you make your decision. First, AppStream is a fully managed service, meaning that you don't have to manage the servers. AppStream will do it for you, which makes it very easy for you to scale globally. DCV is a do-it-yourself technology. You have to manage the infrastructure yourself, which gives you more power and flexibility, but it might not be what you are looking for if you prefer a fully managed experience. Next, AppStream is Windows only for now. DCV offers both Windows and Linux support. Note that when I am talking about Windows or Linux, I'm referring to the operating system running on the server side. This is the operating system that you want your users to see and use. If you need Linux, then DCV is definitely the obvious choice here. Another thing to note is that AppStream works on AWS only, whereas NICE DCV also runs on premises and on any other public or private cloud. If you have use cases for remote visualization on premises, such as accessing on-prem GPU workstations from your local office computer, then you should pick DCV. Lastly, because AppStream is a fully managed service, it has a separate pricing plan. DCV is completely free to use on AWS, and you only pay for the underlying instance usage. However, there's a fee associated with DCV for on-prem use cases, which I will go over later. To summarize, AppStream is fully managed, Windows only, and AWS only. DCV is free on AWS, it's a do-it-yourself solution, and it works for both Windows and Linux. So let's take a look at how DCV works on AWS. We have two use cases here. Business users who runs productivity apps that doesn't require GPU versus power users who need the GPU instances. On the left-hand side, for business users, you would launch a non-graphics instance such as C5 as the server for DCV, with either Linux or Windows operating systems. I choose C5 as example here because it's a popular compute instance, but you can also use other instance types and families on the EC2. To use DCV, you need to install the DCV server software on this C5 instance. Once NICE DCV's server software has been installed, a business user can then create a session on his or her client device to access the remote desktop streamed from the server. Note here that I'm showing you one user, one instance mapping. This type of session is called a console session. The power user story on the right-hand side is very similar, but instead of launching a C5 instance, we recommend you to use our G family instance type, such as G4. A G4 instance provides the latest generation of NVIDIA T4 Tensor Core GPUs to meet your graphics needs. Again, I want to emphasize that DCV works with any GPU and most of the CPU instances on the EC2, so you are not limited to G4 or C5 shown here. If you want to have multiple people sharing one instance, you can do it by creating something called virtual sessions. Virtual sessions allow a N-to-1 mapping of client sessions to servers. For example, 20 business users can all have their own virtual sessions, all supported by a single instance as a server. Please note that virtual sessions is a Linux-only feature. It doesn't work for Windows. On the right-hand side, for power users, you can also create multiple virtual sessions, and these sessions can share one or more GPUs. The DCV architecture for on-premises machines are very similar. Except instead of using an EC2 instance as a server, you can use existing servers from your data center. Again, DCV works with both Linux and Windows operating system. And if you have GPU machines on-prem, DCV can take advantage of them too. Just like in AWS, virtual sessions is also available for on-prem use cases. Now let's dive into some of the key features for NICE DCV. First, NICE DCV allows you full control of the entire desktop. With the power of DCV, you can seamlessly connect to your running session and smoothly interact with it as if you were sitting at the machine itself. You can harness the power of the server hardware from your personal desktop or laptop and run demanding simulations or analysis from anywhere with an internet connection. DCV also provides adaptive streaming based on network conditions. You can choose between either best responsiveness or best quality. DCV measures the current performance metrics to automatically regulate the streaming parameters, such as latency, number of frames produced by the server, and the number of frames dropped by the server. The administrator can define the ranges used for the two different modes. DCV utilizes the H.264-based video compression and encoding to reduce bandwidth consumption. When the network and processor conditions permit, NICE DCV automatically updates to full lossless. Note that DCV would not simply use lossless all the time at the expense of bandwidth. It will automatically update the screen image to full lossless for parts that are not changing. NICE DCV also automatically adapts the server screen resolution and display layout to match the size of the client window. So if you resize your browser window while running DCV session, we automatically adjust the server display resolution to match. Of course, this can be configured, and you can also fix the resolution of the server display if you need. DCV offers multi-monitor support. It can support up to 4 monitors. Resolution-wise, if network condition permits, you can have multiple 4K monitors once you configure the NVIDIA grid drivers. GPU sharing is another key feature of NICE DCV. Let me give you an example to illustrate. Let's say I am an IT admin supporting a team of engineers running engineering simulations on AWS. When a simulation job is complete, they can then use a machine with DCV installed to visualize the result of their 3D models. In this case, a GPU is only needed when the user manipulates and rotates a 3D model. And I know that since not everyone will need to use that GPU at once, so I can just set up a G4 XL instance, which only has one GPU for all my users to share, generating significant cost savings for my company. Another great feature of DCV is its ability to support multiple collaborative clients. Here I have 2 desktops that are exactly the same. I'm using my mouse to create a rectangle on the right desktop, and you see the same thing showing up on the left. If I make a change on the left-hand side session, the right-hand session will show the same action. This is super useful for educational use cases where the teacher can do something in one screen and the students can then follow along and interact with the teacher remotely using their own sessions. This is also great for IT support use cases. NICE DCV also supports popular functionalities such as audio, printing, and copy and paste. For audio, it currently supports both audio in and out and we'll be introducing 7.1 surround sound very soon. You can print documents from within the DCV session. You can also copy and paste text between local computer and the DCV session with ease. For file transfer, DCV makes it easy to move files between the DCV session and your local computer. I will show you a demo of this a little later. For peripherals, NICE DCV supports USB, smart cards, and we recently introduced stylus support too. Some of these are limited to the native Windows client for now, but we plan to add these to other clients in the future. Here is a summary of features by use case. It's broken down into 3 use cases: graphics applications, productivity applications, and support and collaboration. I have listed the requirements for these use cases and the DCV features important to these use cases here. So how do you get started with NICE DCV? There are 3 ways to use DCV. The first is through the DCV AMIs on AWS Marketplace. By launching this AMI, you will have an empty operating system with DCV software installed. This is a great way to evaluate NICE DCV. The second way is through AWS CloudFormation. You can use the AWS CloudFormation template that the DCV team has created to quickly launch an instance with DCV software installed. This is another quick and easy way to test out NICE and DCV. The third way is to do a manual installation. This way requires a little more manual work at the beginning, but we recommend you to install DCV this way if you are serious about adding DCV to your workflow. You have a lot more flexibility in how you use DCV this way because you can install DCV on top of your existing AMI or even automate the installation of NICE DCV into your production pipeline. All 3 methods I just mentioned can be accessed from our download page. The URL is listed here. I'm very excited to show you NICE DCV in action. Let's visit the NICE DCV landing page on AWS website first. Here we can click on the Download NICE DCV button to jump to NICE DCV download page. The download page contains all the software packages for our native clients and servers. It also has links to NICE DCV AMIs on Amazon Marketplace and our own AWS CloudFormation template. Using one of these 3 methods I discussed previously, I have already set up a NICE DCV Windows server on Amazon EC2. In this demo, I'll be accessing the DCV sessions through a web browser. But you can also use one of our native clients for Windows, Mac, or Linux. Here, I'll be entering the password and username that I've configured when I set up the instance. Here you can see the full desktop experience of a Windows machine. Just like any local machine, we can play around, open Windows Explorer, open Firefox, for example, this, and we can resize the windows. I can recess the desktop and the server resolution will match. Of course, you can also lock the server display resolution, and it looks like this. When I lock it, you can see that the desktop wouldn't get bigger as I make my window bigger. Let's go back. Let me demonstrate how easy it is to copy and paste text between DCV sessions and your local computer. I have a shopping list stored on the desktop of my Mac. I can open this file, copy an item, and go back to my DCV session opened up Amazon.com and paste in the item. So it works seamlessly between the local desktop and the DCV session. Audio is just as easy. Let's look at a video as an example. As you can hear, audio is also
Hi, how's it going, everybody?
from my server
Welcome to the
my
world of Hot
computer's
Wheels. We have
speakers.
something very exciting that we want to show.
Sometimes I need to move files between my local computer and the remote DCV server. Here I have a Blender file sitting on the desktop of the server. I can open it, make some changes, exit out, and move it to a special folder called Session Storage. Just drop it in. Once it's there, I can view it from the file storage window. And it shows up here. And from here, I can download the file to my local computer. Next, I'm going to show you how to create multiple viewers for a multi-monitor experience. With one click, I can create a second viewer for my second monitor. Let's move them side by side for a better experience. Here you can see it's super cool that I can even drag my application to the middle of two monitors and have one side shown in one and the other side shown in the other. The last thing I want to demo is the collaborative sessions. For this feature, I will pretend to be a new user joining this exact same session from another computer. I'll just copy the IP and the port number into a new window and log in. Again, I'll put the two screens side by side so you can see. This is different from the multi-monitor experience. As you can see, these two desktops actually mirror each other. When I do something in one of them, the other one also shows the same. This is great for use cases like education or IT support. Now that I have demoed DCV, let's talk about pricing. NICE DCV is free to use on Amazon EC2. You only need to pay for the underlying instance time consumed. If you want to use NICE DCV for on-premise purposes or on another cloud, then you can buy licenses from one of our resellers. DCV uses a floating license model and runs a heartbeat check. Lastly, let's talk about support. If you use DCV on AWS, please reach out to the AWS support with your DCV questions. NICE DCV is an AWS product and it is fully covered under AWS support plans, just like any other AWS service. If you use DCV on premises, please contact the DCV team directly by visiting support.nice-software.com. Thank you so much for your time today. Again, my name is Ray Wang, and here is my email. If you have any questions regarding NICE DCV or is interested in to discuss your use case with us, please feel free to reach out to me directly. Thank you.